a big good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to RTA Virtual Motorsports. We are once again returning here with the Motorsport.ie LMP2. Round 5 of what has been a very entertaining are only going to get better. My name is Evan Dalton. Behind the scenes, as always, is Ronan Hederman tonight at the Silverstone International Circuit in the United Kingdom, the birthplace of Formula One. We're not in single seaters tonight, though. We are in the LMP2s. And last week, of course, we are at a track more historically known for prototype racing. It's called Le Mans. We are at a bit of a different track here tonight, so drivers may not have that same experience in this car around this track. And in terms of the championship, it is extremely close at the top of the order to tonight. Clements, who is at the top of it, but once again, he's not won many races this season. But here is our championship standings now, folks. There's Dylan McClements at the top, Jason Smith in second, Rory O'Shea in third. Quite of a big gap between McClements and O'Shea, but Rory O'Shea will be looking to close that gap down this evening. Sean McClements there in fourth, Ronan Doherty in fifth, Brandon McCaughan in sixth, Peter McCann in seventh, have Kevin Joyce in eighth position. Logan Hoy then in ninth, with Jordan Kelly in 10th position. So a bit of a shuffled order. Logan Hoy in ninth, doing very well indeed, as is Kevin Joyce as well. Jordan Kelly down to 10th, obviously has missed a few rounds. For Jordan Kelly here this evening. And hopefully he is able to improve up the order. If you're experiencing a little bit of lag on the stream, folks, apologies about that. That's my fault, not the stream. So the stream will remain. You'll get to see race cars out on circuit, but hopefully we can get a fix for that throughout the evening. But Silverstone then, 5.891 kilometre circuit, 3.661 miles, 18 corners, all the way from turn 1 of Abbey to turn 18 of Club. Of course, the former site of the RAF Silverstone, former World War II Royal Air Force bomber station. And it was first raced on in 1950, of course. And there was an estimated of 150,000 spectators, not 1,500, attended the event, including the royal family at the time. And it was one of the big motorsport events of that era. Tonight we are in the LMP2 car, of course, the Dallara P217D, which races in the European Le Mans Series and in the World Endurance Championship. World Endurance Championship used to come to Silverstone. Doesn't anymore, for some reason. Disappointingly, was always an entertaining spectacle. These cars have the 4.2-litre Gibson V8 engine, 600 brake horsepower, and a 6-speed sequential gearbox that was made by Extract. The drivers are well used to this machine now. Whether they like it or not, that's a different story. It is a bit of a mixed bag in terms of driver preference, but they are well used to this machine, which has been interesting, because we've got a lot of different race winners this season. We had Michael O'Donoghue in Portugal, who we haven't heard from since. Ronan Doherty as well, winning in Imola, as did Jason Smith, as did Sean McClements. Jason Smith did very well in Spa-Francorchamps. Peter McCann also picking up a win there as well. And last week at Le Mans, it was Jordan Kelly's turn to be the dominant force, apart from in Heat 3, where unfortunately brake pressure was not the dominant force, and he unfortunately went falling down the order. He won 2 races, though, and Jason Smith won the 3rd one. So there's been a flurry of different race winners. Funnily enough, none of them have been the championship leader. Dylan McClements, once again, he only won 1 race last season in the Formula Vs, and still kept up a competitive championship challenge. Hasn't won a race here in the LMP2s either, so consistency once again is key. As a matter of fact, Team DDR, which is Ronan Doherty, Dylan McClements and Sean McClements, have only won 1 race this season, and they're usually 3 drivers who would be looking to win every race, and certainly they were last season in the Formula Vs. That was, of course, the first heat at Imola. Qualifying is underway, though, and you can see Kyle Irvine drag racing down the Wellington Straight. It is wet for the entirety of this evening's action. There was rain out on the circuit, although the drivers have said that that they're not struggling for grip too much. Last night's practice session was a success for some drivers, and they're not suffering too much from any grip issues. There is Kyle Irvine flying past your screen in the little mobile. That is not Jamal Gandor. I think it's Kevin Joyce out on track, and you can just see the spray coming off these cars. Visibility might be a bit of an issue, especially in the race. If this was to remain, you can just see there's a lot of water being lifted up by these LMP2s. They're all on the wet tyres. There is a Michelin wet tyre for this car. Especially in, or sorry, I should say certainly in real life. I don't know whether it's Michelin on iRacing or not. That's probably a contract issue, but there is a wet tyre nonetheless. And the drivers will be looking to maximise the temperature of that, because temperature was a big talking point heading into last week. iRacing updated this car, and was difficult to get up to heat. It was taking about a full lap of Le Mans, although drivers are not struggling as much with it this time round, but it did take about a lap of Le Mans. That's Peter McCann, who you're seeing heading through the Chapel Curve in a very, very unique livery, of course, the Eric Courier car, as it's been dubbed. Peter McCann would love a second win, I think, here this season. Who wouldn't? In all honesty, who wouldn't love another win? Peter McCann, especially in that number 19. So, 2 minutes down in qualifying. The first lap's just getting underway. This is Dylan McClemens, who you are seeing in the number 88, rounding in towards the loop section to start his first qualifying lap. For the first time, I think, this year, he is the only McClemens out on circuit. No Sean McClemens here tonight. This will go as his drop round. And Dylan McClemens will be the sole McClemens family member to take the trip to Silverstone. Robbie Callahan, purple in the second sector. He is slightly ahead of everyone else. TJ Taff actually going quickest in the first sector. The times will keep improving throughout the 15 minutes though, folks, because it is the wet qualifying session. It takes a while for the drivers to get up to grip, to get up to speed, and to have full confidence in both themselves and in the machine. That's Robbie Callahan, you can see heading through Copse Corner. A very interesting corner, as always, for keeping it on the track limits on the outside of it, and just managing your speed. Robbie Callahan flies into Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. There's no confidence issues there for Robbie, that is for sure. Very quick indeed, rounding through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. And Robbie Callahan might look to go top of the order. There's someone in a very similar livery behind him. I wonder who that is. It is, I'm not too sure who it is. I think Ronan. It's Jason Smith. Sorry, Ronan did say it in my ear, but I spoke over him. It is Jason Smith, who is in a very similar coloured livery. He was in a blue, I believe, at the start of the season. But he has gone for a Robbie Callahan impression for the second half of the season. Rounding for the first laps of the evening then. Let's see what times we are looking at. Dylan McClemens crosses the start-finish line, and he will set the banker. It's a 1:57 flat for Dylan McClemens. TJ Taff is crossing the line now, as is Jason Smith. Don't think those laps have gone, or sorry, Jason Smith, I think, just starting a lap. Robbie Callahan, I think, has gone invalid. Logan Hoy goes to third, 57.8. There is Brandon McCotton with a 57.7. So Dylan McClemens' lap is looking very nice indeed, just going by the first time to the day. CJ O'Sullivan, 59.1. Prunty and Toomey are down in the 2-minute mark, so going to want an improvement on that one. Brian McCarthy with a 58.5, just ahead of Simon Hutchings. He's currently on the second row of the grid, but we're still waiting on some of the big names to cross the to cross the start-finish line. That was actually Ronan Doherty, not Kevin Joyce, that we were looking at earlier. This is Doherty heading down towards Copse Corner. Ronan, who's been in a championship fight for pretty much every RTA season this year, is down in 5th in the championship. And he would like to improve upon that. Last season, of course, champion in the Formula Vs with 13 wins, 16 podiums, and 4 pole positions. So far this season, Ronan Doherty has got 3 pole positions, so he would match that statistic from last season if he was able to get pole here today. And up and across the start-finish line he goes to take provisional pole position, and he's the first man into the 156s tonight at Silverstone. Beats Dylan McClemens by 0.3 of a second. Jordan Kelly currently out on track as well. And as always, a big thanks to Jordan Kelly, because we have an onboard once again. We can take a driver's look at this Silverstone circuit and see what the drivers have to do. So on board with Jordan Kelly now, heading through turn number 1 of Abbey and on towards turn number 2 of Farm. Then it's the no-name turn number 3, first braking zone of the circuit, and you're braking at about 100-meter board, down to first gear for this next section. This is the arena, or the loop, turn number 4 and turn number 5. Very, very easy on the throttle. Just ease the throttle to maximise the traction. Heading through here, it can get very slippy, especially in the wet weather. Wellington Straight is next, and down towards Brooklands of turn number 6. You want to maximise your entry, pull as far right as you can, just balance the car through here. You can see it wants to fall out of Jordan Kelly's hands, but he has a good grasp of it, heading through turn number 7 of Luffield. Then, once again, ease that power down onto the old start-finish straight through turn number 8 of Woodcut. This was, of course, the start-finish straight all the way up to the 2010s. Then it's the one of the most famous corners on the circuit, Cops Corner, turn number 9. Flick it in, 4th gear, use that curve on the inside. Try your best not to extend on the outside curve. You'll pick yourself up a track limits penalty. Then it's one of the finer sections in the motorsport world, Maggots. Then it's in towards Beckett's, just balancing the car once again through here. You're on, you're off, you're on, you're off the throttle, heading through Chapel Curve, short shifting up towards 3rd gear and just about exiting and heading for that right-hand side curve. Hanger straight, then longest straight on this Silverstone circuit. You're preparing yourself for turn 15 of Stowe, which is an uphill right-hander. Brilliant corner to try and overtake, but you just want the best lap time possible here in these qualifying runs. Very steady through there from Jordan Kelly. Braking at the 100-meter board once again. This is the Vale chicane, just avoiding those red sausage curves in the inside, but using all of the black and white curving. Then it's through Club, final corner, onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight, and across the line for Jordan Kelly. A fabulous lap indeed, but you can see how difficult it is. Doing that for the next hour and a half is going to be a strenuous task, and we're going to have a look at a replay here. This is something that happened while we were on that on board with Jordan. We are looking at down in towards turn number 1, and let's see, is there a bit of an off here for Rory O'Shea? And oh, he's dipped on the grass, and yep, that is an off for Rory O'Shea. Oh, for O'Shea, that's an over as well. That's gone very wrong. I'm not too sure physics works like that, but Rory O'Shea dipped a wheel in the grass and somehow ended up upside down. So not the best start to the evening for Rory O'Shea. Brandon McCaughton is able to improve to 4th spot, just behind Jason Smith, who is in 3rd. Not able to beat Dylan McClemens was Jason Smith, so he sits behind his championship rival very marginally. It's a .055 for Smith, a .047 for Dylan McClemens, so very close indeed. This is Jordan Kelly, who you're seeing flying through the arena section. We went on board with him through this section just a few moments ago, but we are seeing the off-board now. A very nice livery, I have to say, from Jordan Kelly. It's the Team VRA liveries, but the blue works quite nice. They're usually a bit of a red scheme, I think. Ronan Hederman will be able to tell you more about that later on, but it's a nice livery indeed from Jordan Kelly, as he's looking to get his first lap on the board here today. Here's Dylan McClemens surrounding through the right-hander and looking to beat Ronan Doherty at the top of the order. Not personal or not purple in any of the sectors, but has set a personal best, and he will beat Ronan Doherty. Great improvement for young Dylan McClemens, and he is top of the timings once again. No pole positions this season for Dylan McClemens. Featured on the podium twice in Le Mans in heat number 1 and in heat number 3, and finished 4th in heat number 2. So a great accumulation of points for Dylan McClemens. Beat Jason Smith in only the one race, however, so that's why Smith did close the gap just that little bit. Speak of the devil, here is Jason Smith rounding through Stowe and down towards this Vale chicane. He's not improving on either of these times, and I think he is just getting ready for another lap. Yeah, he definitely is, just building up for another qualifying attempt. Jordan Kelly is coming towards the conclusion of his first qualifying attempt, however. He's rounding through the Vale chicane now, just behind where we saw Jason Smith a moment ago. Puts the foot to the floor, and he's going to try and keep it flat through this final corner. Where is Jordan Kelly going to go amongst the front runners, if amongst the front runners at all? Absolutely amongst the front runners. First car on the second row, and that's 3rd place for Jordan Kelly, 56.9. third driver into the 56's. Very decent banker lap indeed. Robbie Callaghan has jumped up to 7th place. Ronan Doherty with a personal best in that with an all-time best in that first sector, so he's gone purple. Rory O'Shea, personal best in the 3rd and 4th sectors, he's gone green in those. So currently 6th position for O'Shea. We're going to jump up the order just a little bit. Has the 24-hour Le Mans sticker on the car. We're not quite at Le Mans, we are at Silverstone for Rory O'Shea. Nonetheless, going to power on, and where is this lap going to go for Rory? An improvement, if one at all. Across the line, and no improvement for Rory. So lost all the time there in that final sector. Ronan Doherty up and across the start-finish line. Does he pip Dylan McClements? No, he doesn't, so no improvement for Ronan Doherty. We have less than, or just over 3 minutes to go in qualifying here in Silverstone. That's one lap each for these guys. Remember, it's not like Formula 1. It's not like other simulators where you are allowed to finish your lap after the duration of the timer. Once the clock strikes 15, we are done here in qualifying for round number 5 of the Motorsport.ie LMP2 Cup. Doherty just carrying on. Here's Peter McCann, who we cut our attention to, heading for the final corner. Is there going to be a further improvement into the top 10 for Peter McCann? Currently sits in 10th. Across the line, there'll be no jump up the order. What about Jason Smith? Can he get closer to Dylan McClements and Ronan Doherty? A little bit wobbly exiting the final corner, and that might cost him a little bit of time. Jason Smith, no, won't be an improvement for Smith. Will stay where he is. I wonder if the rain got a tad bit heavier, because no one is finding time out on circuit. Unless your name is Jordan Kelly, he seemed to find some time in the first 2 seconds. Again, overall, not able to improve. It's only in the minor placings who are finding a little bit of time. And Jordan Kelly, turn number 3 now. Ronan Doherty is finding time out on the circuit, I'm hearing, and we can see not personal best in the first 3 sectors, but sector number 4 is absolutely in a personal best for Ronan Doherty. Kevin Joyce finding some time as well. Dylan McClements pulls into the pit lane. His qualifying session is done. Ronan Doherty is going to tackle the veiled chicane for the final time. For the second final time. Might get one more in after this. The drivers are struggling with this corner. Can Ronan Doherty tackle it best? Keeps it pinned through there. Is this going to be pole position for Ronan Doherty? His 4th of the season. Remember, if he can take it up across the line. No, it won't be for Ronan Doherty. Not able to improve. Kevin Joyce is, and that will be qualifying done for Ronan Doherty. He will not get another lap in. Dylan McClements, for now, is looking very, very good for pole position. I think that's Brandon McCaughton who is passing Ronan Doherty, so he won't be able to snatch it off it. Could Brian McCarthy maybe throw a spanner into the works up and across the start-finish line? Currently sits in 13th. There'll be no improvement for Brian McCarthy. TJ Taff will jump up to 14th spot, though, so that's a decent performance from TJ. Here is Peter McCann, personal best in Sector 3 and Sector 4. What's the overall lap reading going to be? Just battling it through club is Peter McCann. Can he join the top 10 club up and across the start-finish line? No, he can't, and it will be an 11th place start for Peter McCann. There's no real improvements across the line here. There's no one setting blistering lap times. Logan Hoy might be able to further increase his qualifying position, because he really is finding personal bests in all sectors so far. O'Shea is doing an alright job as well. No improvements for Brandon McCaughton. He won't even make the line, however. Logan Hoy will. He might be the last one to make the line, in fact, so make it count, Logan. Let's see. Through the final corner comes Logan Hoy. Is he going to be able to jump up the order? He is just about 7th spot for Logan Hoy, and he is the last one across the line. So Dylan McClements will take his first pole position of the season here in the LMP2 Cup. Didn't take any poles last season either in the Formula V's, so that is his first pole, potentially since the Super Formula Lights campaign, where he took pole in the wet in Donington Park. Dylan McClements will start at the top of the order. Ronan Doherty and Jordan Kelly actually both set the exact same lap, so Ronan gets the spot because he did it first. Jason Smith will start from 4th, Brandon McCaughton in 5th, and Rory O'Shea in 6th, Logan Hoy in 7th. And it's Robbie Callaghan in 8th, Kevin Joyce in 9th, CJ O'Sullivan will start in 10th, Peter McCann in 11th, then it's Ken Doyle, Brian McCarthy, TJ Taff, Simon Hutchings, Jamal Gandor, and Kyle Irvine in 17th. Tony Stack for Team Whiskey will start in 18th position, ahead of David Prunty and Dermot Toomey in 19th and 20th. Finlay Melvin in 21st, and Philip Upson in 22nd. And then it will be Bobby Joe McFall down the order in 23rd. No times for the bottom three. So they've not got a lap on the board. What has happened to the Porsche safety car? I'm not sure this is a new iRacing update, but I missed 1 week, and now we have a. What even is that? Is that a Ford Raptor or something? I'm not sure if Ronan Hederman knows more, but what has happened to that? Have we really lost all our budget here in RTA and we've downgraded to that? What even is that? I don't even know what car it is. Is it a Chevrolet? Do Chevrolet the Jeep? It is a Chevrolet, seemingly, or at least Ronan Hederman thinks so. This isn't really much of an issue. It's more something that's annoying me. Why don't we have a Porsche at the front of the order? Oh well, the weird Jeep will lead us round. And in more important matters, we're going to get racing in a couple of moments here. Very short formation lap, thankfully, at Silverstone. We just have 4 corners to get through, and then we can get racing. It'll be Dylan McClements and Ronan Doherty at the top of the order. Remember, Team DDR with only 1 win so far this season. That was Ronan Doherty in the second round in Imola. That fact is a complete lie. They actually have 2 wins because Sean McClements won in Heat 3 in Imola as well, now that I think about it. So only the 2 wins for the team. Although given that they had 15 or something in Formula V, they'll probably like a little bit more. What is Ronan doing on this formation lap once again? He's got Jordan Kelly in front of him now. And as Dylan McClements heads through the final corner, we go racing for the first time here in Silverstone. But it's not Ronan Doherty in second, it's Jordan Kelly. So Jordan has got the jump on Ronan before we've even got to the start-finish line. They won't be 2 by 2 in towards the first corner. Everyone line astern, just trying to avoid the spray. And there's a problem for Dylan McClements. He's got it all wrong, heading for the first corner. And Jordan Kelly goes for the race lead. Ronan Doherty for second in towards turn 3 as well. And that is Jason Smith looking to get involved in this. You don't have to give Jason Smith 2 invitations to go for an overtake. He'll RSVP at the very, very first chance, looking to sneak a wheel at the inside of Dylan McClements as well, but can't quite do so. Oh, fudge there. Someone's rejoined the circuit pretty rash, and that might actually be Rory O'Shea. Rory and Jason have fought many a time in the LMP2s. Down the inside goes Jason Smith on Ronan Doherty. Ronan looking for the switchback, not able to pull it off. Jason Smith is ahead, heading into Luffield. Jordan Kelly leads in Silverstone. Dylan McClements in second. Jason Smith in third. Ronan Doherty fourth. Rory O'Shea in fifth. Some losers and gainers from down the order. A great start for Kyle Irvine and Tony Stack, who are up 3 spots. Ken Doyle is down 5. Simon Hutchings down 7. So some problems for those two. As we look at Ronan Doherty, try to find Jason Smith in front of a man. Now he sees him. The closer he gets is, down the inside of the Chapel Curve. No, not even Ronan Doherty's that brave. Also not that stupid. That probably wouldn't have ended well. This definitely a much better chance in the slipstream down the 770-metre hanger straight in towards the right-hander, but there's no move there. They'll come barreling into the apex of the corner. There's Peter McCann looking for the move on CJ O'Sullivan 2 weeks ago in Spa-Francorchamps. These two battle for the race leads. Peter getting the move done on that occasion. He's going to try to get the move done on this occasion as well. Pulls out from behind the slipstream at a snail's rate, and not able to get the move done. This is Ken Doyle fighting with Finlay Melvin. Finlay, the Night Rider Melvin, there behind him in the all-black number 2 LMP2. Jamal Gandor is into the pit lane, actually, so some problems for Jamal. Too sure what's happened to him there. Maybe a drive of some sort, as I think Ronan has just said it, as Logan Hoyt losing the place to Robbie Callahan. Ronan, what happened to Jamal?
Yeah, it looks like a disconnect for Jamal. Unfortunate, but yeah, that's him dropping in the leaderboard.
So a disconnect for Jamal Gandor. Very disappointing for Jamal. Oh, Kyle Irvine looking to try and make the move on Brian McCarthy, and he's just snuck up the inside. Can he try and make it stick in towards Brooklands? Have to be brave on the brakes to make it work. No, he's backed out of it. That is a junior mini driver backing out of an overtake, here at RTA Virtual Motorsport. Peter McCann is going to be delighted, and Brian McCarthy will keep the place there. Kyle Irvine will remain in 14th. I suppose that goes to show the level of maturity Kyle Irvine has built up across the last couple of weeks racing here in RTA, because 6 or 7 weeks ago, I think he 100% would have went for that one on the brakes. Ronan Doherty looking for a move on the brakes on Jason Smith. Jason Smith currently in 3rd, Ronan Doherty in 4th, and Jason Smith finished 7th in Heat 1 last week in Le Mans, so he's not looking for that to happen here tonight. Doherty not able to make it work in towards Copse Corner, and he's just... Oh, he's run very wide, actually. I was going to say he's just biding his time, but has made that error. Would have picked up an off track for that. Went all 4 wheels off. Still looking very solid in 4th place. Jordan Kelly, however, running away at the front of this order, so they're not catching up to him. Jordan got the move done on Dylan in towards turn number 3, and he is up and ahead. Probably 2 of the best wet weather drivers on the grid, Jordan Kelly and Dylan McClements. Ronan is fantastic in wet weather as well, but Jordan's always up there in wet weather. He's always competitive, and you can really just see how dominant he is. 1.9 seconds ahead of Dylan McClements already, and we're only 4.5 minutes into heat number 1. It's all quiet on the western front here in Buckinghamshire, and Ronan Doherty still just staying behind. We're on board with Ronan, actually. This is Ronan looking back on Rory O'Shea. Apologies, not the other way around. And you can see just a bit of a gap being created between the two. A lot of gaps are around the field. Closest fight, I think, is between Melvin and Stack, which has about 0.4 of a second between it. But again, no one budging there. Rory, oh, that was a weird wobble of the wheel, heading towards Copse Corner, just hitting a puddle or something. And spot Ronan Doherty here, because you can't. Just about seeing his left wheel. That goes to show how bad the spray is. You can see Jason Smith fine, but you can't really see the car in front of you. That's how much spray these LMP2s dispatch. Oh, problems for Kyle Irvine. He's just dropped down behind Finlay Melvin in the little livery. And Dermot Toomey might look to pounce on this one as well. He's going to look to try and get himself a special buy down towards the Stowe corner of turn number 15. Into the slipstream. No, a bit too far back for Dermot Toomey. Not going to try and make the move. Dylan McClements. Oh, he's under pressure from Jason Smith, isn't he? Jason Smith very far behind. No, Jason Smith not very far behind. Jason Smith very close to Dylan McClements. McClements falling even further behind Jordan Kelly is what I was meant to say. Dylan McClements feeling the pressure a tad. Keeps it committed through turn number 1 and 2. He'll be okay here. He'll be okay. He's weathered the storm a little bit. But Jason Smith will be hungry to go for the move. Jason, the minute he gets a sniff of an overtake, he kind of wants it, doesn't he? As soon as he knows he has a chance, he looks to take that chance. As here comes Finlay Melvin. I don't know how he's found the grip to almost hang that one around the outside, but he's made Tony Stack make a meal of his braking, and Finlay Melvin is going to try hook around here. Don't close him off, Finlay. He doesn't. Just about. Bit of a nudge between the two. Kyle Irvine's looking to try and sneak down the inside. Can he have a 2-for-1 offer down in towards the left-hander? Tucked into the slipstream of Tony Stack and Finlay Melvin in front. No, not going to be able. I tell you what, there's so many drivers close to going for moves, but they just can't take it. I'm not really sure why. But have we lost all our bravery potentially in RTA? Have we lost the commitment? I'm not too sure, but they all stay as they are, despite a big blunder for Tony Stack in towards turn number 3, and he'll stay in front. This is only the battle for 15, but every point matters in the lower order of the championship, certainly. Every order, every point matters for the later order. Up the front, oh, here we go. This is Ronan Doherty. He's got commitment. Trying it on Jason Smith. Going to hang it around the outside. Barges his way back onto the tarmac. He's not taking any of Jason Smith's closing the door antics. And there's a little nudge between the two. Smith very deep in towards the Vale chicane. They're going to head through Club. Doherty gets the better exit. Smith just about in front, and look, he's all over the rear wing of the third place man in front. Can Ronan Doherty go for the move in towards turn number 3? That'll be his next opportunity. 8 minutes down on the clock here. There's not a lot of time to go. This might even be the last lap if Jordan Kelly times it right. Ronan Doherty very late on the brakes, not able to get it done down the inside, and it is going to be Jason Smith just about holding it out in front, and he will likely remain in third place unless Doherty can have a go in towards Brooklands and in towards Luffield. But he doesn't seem to be close enough. The slipstream is nothing compared to the Formula V's last season. And Ronan Doherty knows that. He knows his chance might have gone, and look, you can see him pushing through the left-hander. Stowe might be his last opportunity. This is CJ O'Sullivan looking for the move on Kevin Joyce. CJ in the blue, white and red. It's a very summertime livery for CJ O'Sullivan. Definitely not a reflection of the weather both here in Silverstone and in Ireland, and certainly in his home county of Kilkenny, which is in the near the sunny southeast, but not this time of year anyways. Jason Smith, very, very committed through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. Has lost a bit of time though, and oh, that's a little bit of an error. Not exactly silky smooth. Heading through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. Is this one last opportunity for Ronan Doherty? We might get one more lap after this one. I don't think it's going to take 30 seconds for Jordan Kelly to get through this final sector, so we might have one trip round Silverstone. Yeah, we definitely will. Not a last opportunity for Ronan Doherty. Jordan doesn't have the gap to make this the last lap either, so he will have to just carry on. Ronan very, very close to the back of Jason Smith now. Once again, they were side by side one lap ago. Not quite side by side this time round. But Jason just looking to defend. This definitely the last lap of the race, as we've just struck 10 minutes. We will complete this one, and that'll be it for heat number 1 here at Silverstone. Jason Smith not able to, or sorry, Ronan Doherty not able to go for the move on Jason Smith. Jason Smith just about staying in front. I'm not sure if it's the dirty air that's not allowing Ronan to get close, but he's really just struggling to get near Jason Smith since that previous overtaking opportunity. The slipstream is being a nothing benefit for Ronan Doherty, and he's not able to get close through the corners either. Heading through the right-hander. Still no opportunity for him. Jordan Kelly, though, what a fabulous race this has been. Didn't take pole position. Started from 3rd on the grid. Was 2nd before turn number 1. Was 1st before turn number 3. And whatever mistake Dylan McClemens made through that first sector has gifted this race win to Jordan Kelly. Mistakes in the final sector, of course. I hope that's not an all-time commentator's curse. Ronan Doherty. Can he take the podium off Jason Smith? It's been a large if for the majority of this race. Now he's very, very close, heading for the Chapel curve, and keeps it all together nicely. He's got the power down nicely. This is it. This is the chance for Ronan Doherty. He's hooked it together at the right time. Dirty air and slipstream, both now coming to his advantage. Outside line for Ronan Doherty. He'll have to go the long way about it, heading through Stowe. Is he going to try and go up and under? Jason Smith drifts off the apex. Ronan Doherty tries to sneak down the inside. The outside will become the inside, heading through this Vale chicane. Smith brakes slightly later than the 2. Is he going to drift off into the corner? He is. Doherty keeps it committed off the circuit and just about gets in front, and it will be Ronan Doherty who gets 3rd place here in Silverstone. Argy-bargy, but brilliant. Jordan Kelly wins the first heat of the evening. Dylan McClemens in 2nd. Ronan Doherty in 3rd, and Ronan doing big favours to McClemens as well, because that will give Dylan 2 extra championship points over Jason Smith. Jason will have to settle for 4th. Rory O'Shea in 5th. Here is the battle for 15th across the line. Tony Stack getting ahead of Finlay Melvin. Dermot Toomey coming home in 17th. David Prunty in 18th. Kyle Irvine 19th. Simon Hutchings will come home in 20th. We'll run through the full results in a few moments for you folks. But finally, we got a bit of racing action towards the end of that one. Really excellent, excellent stuff from Ronan and Jason. 2 drivers who well and truly know how to get their elbows out. They definitely don't hold back from battle. That is for sure. And we are now looking at Jamal Gandor rounding through the final corners, which is good news because it means he's back in and has a fighting chance for heat number 2. It'll be 22nd for Jamal, but a disconnect, that's not bad in all honesty. And it's a no-show from Bobby Joe McFall. Here's your full race results then. Jordan Kelly, the winner in heat number 1. Dylan McClements in 2nd, Ronan Doherty in 3rd, Jason Smith in 4th, Rory O'Shea in 5th, Brandon McCaughton in 6th, Robbie Callahan in 7th, Logan Hoy in 8th, and it's Kevin Joyce, CJ O'Sullivan, Peter McCann, TJ Tapp, Brian McCarthy, Ken Doyle, Tony Steck, Finley Melvin, Dermot Toomey, and David Prunty down in 18th position. Then it's Kyle Irvine, Simon Hutchings, Philip Upson, Jamal Gandor, and Bobby Joe McFall. Ronan Hederman, the battle heading for the final sector between Jason and Ronan. Was it just on the line? Was it over the line? Was it perfectly legal for you?
I think that was perfectly legal. I think Jason dropped the ball there in the last couple of corners, and yeah, no, Ronan definitely made the most of it, and I think that was deserved. I don't really see too much wrong with that. Now again, I say that, and I guarantee you, there's probably two racers in screaming at each other, but you know, this is what we come to expect at RTA. But that kind of battling, love it.
I don't think Jason Smith, of all people, can really complain about that. He's had his fair share of similarities in the past. A great racer is Jason on his day. No. And we will go racing again. The Chevrolet whatever pulls into the pit lane, and Jordan Kelly will lead us to will lead what seems to be a 3 wide to the pack here. Jason Smith is not hanging about. Ronan is also not going to make the same mistake as the last time, and poor Dylan McClements is going to be hung out to dry on the outside line. We go racing in Silverstone for the 15-minute B heat here in RTA, and Ronan Doherty immediately defends from Dylan McClements. This could get very hairy down towards turn number 1. Jason Smith goes for the move down the inside. Cracking overtake for Jason. Ronan Doherty's going to go for the move in towards the first corner as well. Jordan defends to the inside line, but he's got it very wrong. Jordan's got it very, very wrong. Huge lunge from Rory O'Shea as well. He's up to 4th. Dylan has been dumped down to 5th place in this race. Jordan Kelly rounding through turn number 3, escapes Ronan Doherty's grasp initially, but Ronan might have another go down towards Brooklands. Two drivers who have been racing against each other all year here in RTA. They won't race against each other now, though. Jordan just about stays in front. Logan Hoy, Brandon McCaughton fighting in 6th place. Robbie Callahan as well in 8th, looking to try and make some moves. Kyle Irvine is up to 15th spot, so he's got himself a bargain in towards the first corner. Simon Hutchings in 16th spot. Jamal's got a cracking race start. Jamal is up 5 positions to 17th. Jordan Kelly just about surviving through Cop's corner as well, and if he can pull this gap 1 or 2 tenths of a second more through Maggots, Beckers and Chapel, which he almost already has, he will be able to survive down towards the right-hander. Dylan McClements under pressure from Brandon McCaughton. Brandon, a man who is ultra consistent, probably at a similar level to Dylan McClements. Brandon, excluding Portugal, where he obviously didn't get a chance to race, has never finished outside the top 10 in an RTA event. So Brandon looking to continue on that run. Now that I've said that, he probably won't, but still Brandon doing a stellar job and looking for the move down the inside on Dylan McClements. Not able to make it stick for now, and Dylan will defend. 2 Antrim racers, of course, Dylan McClements and Brendan McCaughton, just like Ronan Doherty and Sean McClements as well. Sean obviously not here tonight, but well, he's from the same place as Dylan, in case you didn't guess that already. Let's have a look at the replay then. This is Peter McCann. What has happened to Peter McCann? He's battling with CJ O'Sullivan again. Oh, someone's just decided they fancy a nice bite of wall, and that is TJ Taff, and they fancy a nice slice of Peter McCann as well. Down towards turn number 3. Oh, yeah. Peter is one of the stewards. I say no more. Brandon McCaughton is defending from Robbie Callahan now in towards the right-hander. Robbie not able to get it done down the inside. Brandon just a lot more momentum on the outside of that corner. There's Finley Melvin, sneaky move. O'Sullivan, and Finley has definitely improved his racecraft in recent races. There was the odd hairy moment in Spa-Francorchamps, but other than that, Finley has really pulled off some good overtakes, and that's another one. He's up to 11th and ahead of CJ O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan has good pace here tonight as well. The wet weather seemed to be suiting him in Silverstone. Hoy is now ahead of McCaughton. So McCaughton made a mistake somewhere along the line because he was piling the pressure on Dylan McClements, and now he's behind Logan Hoy for 6th place. Logan, another man who is performing in the wet weather in Silverstone here. And very well done to Logan Hoy, who is a little bit off Dylan McClements now, but still doing a good job indeed. 3 minutes and 45 seconds down in this one. It's not the runaway show for Jordan Kelly like it was in heat number. Ronan slightly keeping him honest, but Jordan Kelly doing a good job. Jordan has got to beat the statistics as well tonight. He won heat number 1. No driver that's won heat number 1 this season has gone on to win heat number 3. There's been plenty that won heat 2, but no one has gone on to win heat number 3. So if Jordan wants to take a first clean sweep of the season, he still has a lot of work to do. Brandon McCaughton looking to just keep gaining on Logan Hoy down towards turn number 3. And a little bit of a gap developing between Kevin Joyce and Finley Melvin. Here's Tony Stack, goes down the inside of Kyle Irvine. Kyle looking for the move back in towards Brooklands and Luffield. Is he going to be able to go for it? Yes, he is. Kyle Irvine, is he going to break late down the inside? He is, and that's going to be Tony Stack who has to hang it round the outside. Tony's moments in P13 have all been sold out, and Kyle Irvine is back and ahead. Really, really great move from Kyle Irvine. That's the kind of racing we want to see. Big dive down the inside, but very fair from the two. And Kyle Irvine gets ahead. Goodbye, Finley. That's him gone off. That's that's through Cop's corner it is for Finley Melvin. We might have to catch a replay of that one, but Finley Melvin very far off the circuit into the gravel. Recovers quite quickly, mind you, but let's see what happened here. Not battling with a car, so seems to be a mistake all on his own. We're not getting a recreation of Verstappen Hamilton between Melvin and I think that's CJ behind him. In towards Cops. Oh, got it all wrong on entry. Off into the gravel. I tell you what, he's done quite well actually to keep that out of the wall. The gravel helps quite a lot, but he's done well to keep that out of the wall. Did have a safe rejoin. So Finley will carry on. Currently in 21st position, but still amongst a few cars there at the back of the pack. David Prunty, Philip Upson. He's just got past Philip Upson and Ken Doyle as well in that fight. 9/10 of a second separating Jordan and Ronan. It's ebbing and flowing between 8/10 to a second. Here's Tony Stack once again looking to avenge his previous errors and get back past Kyle Irvine for 12th position, but he's actually under pressure from Brian McCarthy, and McCarthy tries to sling one down the inside. No go. He's been blocked out. But does he have enough grip to try and make it stick now? No, and now he's under pressure from the Welshman. Simon Hutchings, Brian McCarthy all over the circuit. Might lose 2 positions here. Dermot Toomey gets the job done. Dermot Toomey, and oh, is that Brian coming back on the circuit? Yes, it is. So Peter McCann gets back as well. Brian McCarthy with a horrible run through the arena and the multicolour madness that is in front. Both getting past, and now that's a mistake from Dermot Toomey. Peter McCann and Dermot Toomey both got past initially. Toomey falls behind. Brian McCarthy getting back past Dermot Toomey, and now Toomey is under pressure from Ken Doyle. It's all swapping and changing for the minor placings here in round 5 in the Motorsport.ie LMP2 Cup. Ken Doyle looking for it down the inside. No, won't go for that one. Smart approach from Ken, but does run wide at the apex, so he's going to lose an awful lot of time there to Dermot Toomey, and Toomey will get in front for now. Dermot Toomey's car looks like a St. Bridget cloak or a St. Bridget blanket or something. It's all little patches. I quite like it actually. Nice creative livery from Dermot Toomey. Not very Christmassy. That's the 1st of February. Kevin Joyce looking to try and get past Robbie Callaghan. 2 drivers who are always in this kind of position. Robbie briefly had his moments in the limelight towards the end of the Formula V campaign, where he got a couple of race wins, but he's always around Kevin Joyce. It seems they always seem to be in the same area of the racing circuit, and that is 8th place on this occasion, 0.6 of a second behind Brandon McCaughan. And wide for Robbie Callahan, heading through turn 2. The driver seems to be taking that curve and just dipping a wheel on the grass the odd time, and that sends you flying out to the longer way through the corner. Kevin Joyce with a real good opportunity now as we ride on board with himself. Tucked into the toe of Robbie Callahan in front. Is it going to be the outside for Kevin Joyce? It is. Going to be able to hold it? No, a bit far behind it seems. He'd need to be extra brave here, and he is extra. Wow. I actually thought he was going to pull that off for a second. Just hung it round the outside, full throttle, but wasn't able to make the move stick, and he will have to stay behind. Let's have a look at this instant replay then. Let's see what happened. This is, it's Finley once again, as he had another. In through turn 3 and towards turn number 4. Did he just not fancy it? What happened there for Finley Melvin? That's very weird. Mr. Sim Consultants, would that might have been a wheel
It almost looked like
disconnect or something?
it sounded like I'm done kind of situation by the looks of it. Not even a wheel disconnect. I don't know. Not too sure.
Maybe his dinner's ready or something along the lines, and just fancied a nice bite to eat. So I wonder what's for tea tonight in the Melvin household. Oh, maybe fish and chips. Who knows? Might have got a delivery. That's not important right now. But what is important is the racing on our screen between Kevin Joyce and Robbie Callahan. Jordan Kelly 1.2 ahead of Ronan Doherty as well. They're 2.7 ahead of Jason Smith. Jason's going to be furious that he's been gapped by Ronan Doherty and Jordan Kelly, because there's probably no secret that Jason thinks he's quicker than them two. And it's probably no secret that Ronan thinks he's quicker than them too. And it's probably no secret that Jordan thinks he's quicker than them too, because they're all racing drivers. They all have some form of ego. Because you have to succeed in this game. Rory O'Shea is in 4th doing a good job. 6th last season for Rory O'Shea. So he's looking to keep up that sort of results. 3rd in the championship now, but I think if he got the top 5, he would be happy. I think if he won a race, he would be happy, because hasn't won a race since the Super Formula Lights. 2 wins in that campaign. Got plenty of podiums in the Formula V, 7 in fact, and got 3 in the Mustang America's Cup in the last 2 campaigns, but no race wins. A triple RTA champion, of course, is Rory O'Shea, if you do forget, so definitely knows how to win races. Not looking like he's going to win this one, but maybe race 3 with a reverse grid. Oh, I thought that was a car. It is component to CJ O'Sullivan's car. That is the front body of the car gone off, and we're definitely going to have to take a look at this one on the Gantry TV replay. This is Cops Corner once again. This is where we saw Finley Melvin have his initial incident. Is this something similar for CJ O'Sullivan? Oh no, he actually he didn't make it through Cops. Oh, that's Robbie Callahan off as well. That's a weird one. The crash itself fairly normal, but why did the back of the car bounce off? Someone forgot to tighten a rivet or a screw or something. And that is CJ with significant damage, and he won't be able to carry on. Robbie Callahan is in 14th. He went off just a few moments before CJ O'Sullivan did. He was off to the other side, the right-hand side of the exit of Cops Corner, and he's now down to 14th. Robbie's made a few mistakes this season, and it's harsh criticism, but truthful criticism, and he hasn't been as consistent maybe as the Formula V. That's why he hasn't continued that moment in the limelight that I was talking about earlier. Let's have a look at what happened to Robbie Callahan, then watch. He'll probably have been punted off or something, and this is just unfair criticism, but we will see. Heading through Cops, all okay there. Oh, okay. So I'd say there's... Oh, I was going to say there was a puddle, but CJ went off earlier. So it's a very big puddle, but very, very similar, just a different direction. Ronan Hederman saying that. Yeah, different direction, but very, very similar for Robbie Callahan and CJ O'Sullivan. Jason Smith under pressure from Rory O'Shea with 2 minutes to go. One lap after this one, and then we will be done the second heat of the evening here in Silverstone. Hasn't been much of a fight for the race win or for the placings, so hopefully Rory and Jason can change that now. And an almighty scrap on the last lap would be well received, I think, by you guys at home and by us here in the commentary booth. Rory O'Shea, though, just a little bit far off for now. If you are watching, of course, on Gantry TV or on RTA on the page, please do consider a subscription or a follow if you can. It's absolutely free, so we would greatly appreciate your support. Here's Brandon McCaughton looking to try and make the move on Logan Hoy. Logan has done a great job so far this evening. I'm definitely impressed with Logan so far. As of now, he would be on the second row of the grid as well for the reverse grid. Currently on the reverse pole would be Kevin Joyce. Brandon on the front row could be a tasty one as well. You might be able to see him compete. Heading in towards the right-hander turn number 1, though. He's not able to compete with Logan Hoy as of now. Jordan and Ronan, by the way, 4.4 seconds ahead of Jason Smith. They haven't just gapped him, they've destroyed him in the 15 minutes of the second heat tonight in RTA. Jordan, the clear race winner in this one. Rory O'Shea nice and close to the left-hander. Sorry, nice and close to the car in front, heading into the left-hander. He was nice left-hander, admittedly. As we're all bunched up in the mid-pack once again. Peter McCann trying to snatch every point in every place he can. Peter tucked into the slipstream of Tony Stack in front in the Alpine remake. Tony Stack, is he going to be able to defend? He will, for now, because Peter's not got the run. Robbie Callahan involved in this one as well, as is Simon Hutchings in a lofty 11th place. Hutchings would like to hold on to this one. Kyle Irvine just in front in 10th spot. Peter McCann just not getting the run, but there is a mistake from Tony Stack. Have a go. Corner. Oh, Peter, this would be something else if you were able to pull off the move into here. Here comes Peter McCann. No, he won't. Smarter decision from Peter, but I would have liked to see him move into Cop's corner. Not able to make it stick. There's still line astern into Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, but this one is not over yet. Peter, slightly different line to avoid the spray. Jordan Kelly comes across the line to win the race, but in more important matters, Peter is still looking to try and make the move on Tony Stack. Here is Jordan Kelly, 2 from 2 so far tonight. Exact same as Le Mans. He hopes heat free goes a bit better though. Ronan Doherty in second. Jason Smith will come home in third. Rory O'Shea in fourth. Dylan McClements then in fifth, loses out to Jason Smith. So the 4 points gained in heat number 1 were 4 points lost in heat number 2. Here comes Robbie Callahan looking for the move on Peter McCann. McCann looking to defend from Callahan, heading through the Vale chicane. And Callahan is going to try pull off a Ronan Doherty through here. Who's going to get the run to the line? It's a crucial battle for 13th place. Robbie Callahan, exceptional on the traction. Pulls a blinder. McCann ran very wide. And he will only take 14th place. Disappointing for Peter. Remember, he was hit off at the first corner, so understandable 14th place from Peter McCann, but it'll be raging that he wasn't able to take a few more spots on that last lap. There is Philip Upson, who is in 19th place. Oh, CJ's only in Cops. This could be a while. This could be a while, as CJ guaranteeing himself a bit of screen time. A big thanks to those of you who have commented in our live stream chat so far. Great to see Evan Walsh in the stream chat once again and not racing. Good to see Neville Smith in there as well as Jamal. Evan saying the Formula V's were on track before the lads. There's a layer of oil down. Yep, there was definitely something heading through Cops. That's what caused the few incidents. As Evan also asking for more Dylan McClements. I haven't heard that one in a while, actually. It's been quite a while since we've got a more Dylan McClements, Ronan. And yeah, more Dylan McClements seemingly. More CJ O'Sullivan, methinks, as he finally rounding through the final chicane to head through the final corner. CJ will complete the race here at Silverstone. 20th spot for CJ. No points, unfortunately, but he did destroy his car in the wall. So, in all honesty, he got to the finish. That's impressive in my books. Race winner Jordan Kelly, then Ronan Doherty in Jason third, Rory O'Shea in Dylan McClemens in fifth, Logan Hoy in sixth, Brandon McCaughan in seventh, and it was Kevin Joyce, TJ Taft, Kyle Irvine, Simon Hutchings, Tony Stack, Robbie Callahan, Peter McCann, Dermot Toomey, Brian McCarthy, David Prunty, and Ken Doyle in 18th position. Then it was Philip Upson, CJ O'Sullivan, Finley Melvin, Jamal Gandor, Bobby Joe McFall, once again not entering. Let's have a chat with our top three then. First, of course, Jordan Kelly winning heat number 1 and heat number 2. Jordan, congratulations on the 2 wins. You missed a couple of races and you've taken 4 race wins since you've come back. So you've not lost your pace.
No, I don't think so. But like that, it's just a matter of that track there. Is if you're in the lead, you have a big advantage because with no spray and stuff. So kind of use that a good bit. But I'm gonna be in for it now in the third race, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, you mentioned that there. You are in for it.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's very, very difficult to overtake here.
Oh yeah. It's like the track doesn't look slippy, but like it went 2 seconds slower from practice. So like there's places where you just had to adapt to slower speeds and stuff. So and that first lap is just there's no grip. You may as well be nearly spinning trying to get on the power. So that's gonna catch a lot of people out. It's probably already did, as we've seen.
We've seen a lot of drivers struggling heating up the tyres last week. We also saw you struggle to hit your brakes.
Oh yeah.
Is that going to go better maybe in
Yeah,
heat three?
hopefully I can find my breaking point this time because it was 100 meters too late last week and that was not good for anybody. So oh well, we'll see. It'll be
Jordan,
trickier now with the spray, but whatever.
well, hopefully you don't clatter into about 4 people at once, turn number 3. Jordan, thank you very much, and
Yeah,
best of luck for heat number 3.
thanks, Evan.
Now let's hear from the second place man, Ronan
Fine.
Doherty. Ronan, congratulations. Second place in heat number 2. We saw you overtake Jason Smith through the last chicane in heat number 1 as well. That's one of very few overtakes tonight.
Yeah, just sort of noticed Jason was pushing quite hard and Maggots and Beckett's and stuff, and then getting a power run on the back straight. And I was just able to make the move stick, but I was really struggling in the last race with the dirty air behind Jordan, and then I was sort of chewing up my tires. So I think getting a bit of clean air early on is going to be a big factor in this last race for whoever wins it.
Is it going to be? Are you going to be trying to make as much moves on the opening lap as you can then to try get out in front?
Yeah, the opening lap's very, very slippy with how cold the tires are. But for sure, just gonna try and be opportunistic. I had a horrible start in the first race, so just gotta be. I got a pretty good one in the second race, so just gotta be more switched on.
And then in terms of the wet weather, I think we've only seen it on one okay season. Is it still a bit of a learning curve in the car? As I think we might have lost Ronan
Can
Doherty.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now,
Yeah,
Ronan.
no, it's strange. There's lots of grip down everywhere. Um, so it's not like anything I'm used to driving in the wet. Um, but it still has the same sort of principles with being smooth and stuff. And no, I'm happy enough with how I'm going.
Ronan, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck for the third race.
Thanks, lads.
And I think we just about have time to talk to Jason Smith. Yeah, we do. Jason, congratulations on the podium. You lost out on the podium in the final chicane in heat number 1, however.
Yeah, kind of had my hands in my head there really. Oh, I can't believe I done that and let Ronan through, but I'm just struggling a little bit with feeling, and it's like driving with no force feedback. I just don't really have enough of testing in the wet, so yeah.
Jordan and Ronan ran away from you too, but of course you get to start in Korea. You still hope to win?
Yeah, it's like last week again. Hopefully, I can just get through all the carnage really if it occurs, and just try to get the head down really.
And then Ronan was saying there's quite a lot of grip out there to do with the wet weather. Is it a unique scenario?
Sorry, I didn't quite get that. I just cut out. a little bit.
Sorry, apologies, Jason.
problem.
Ronan was saying it's fairly unique with grippers out in the wet weather. Is that something you're finding as well?
Yeah, it's just totally different to real life. To be honest, just in every aspect. It's just again probably just not enough of testing. It's like anything really. You just get used to things, but no, it should be a good one here, and we'll try and make up a few positions and get some good points.
Jason, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to let you go and get ready for the third.
Thanks very much, guys.
So it'll be Kevin Joyce on pole in the reverse grid ahead of Brandon McCaughton in second. Ronan, we have not seen much overtaken tonight, and the guys were talking about how difficult it is. This could be an interesting reverse grid race.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. It's been very, very quiet from the on the timing tower the whole way through this. So hopefully a top 8 reverse will kind of switch things up. Kevin Joyce up there, he's been so strong this season that I think he might actually sit around here for quite a lot. But Ronan and Jordan cutting through the grid here, having to face Jason, Rory, Dylan in front of him, should make for a good start.
It should. It is Kevin Joyce top of the order. Brandon McCaughton in second. Logan Hoy in third. Dylan McClem. Rory O'Shea in fifth ahead of Jason Smith in sixth. Then it is Ronan Doherty and Jordan Kelly. TJ Taft starts from ninth. Kyle Irvine in 10th. Then it is Simon Hutchings in 11th. And Tony Stack in 12th position. 13th then goes to Robbie Callahan. Peter McCann in 14th ahead of Dermot Toomey, Brian McCarthy, David Prunty, Ken Doyle, Philip Upson, CJ O'Sullivan, Finlay Melvin, and Jamal Gandor down in 22nd place. So, formation lap is underway. We are rolling, not quite racing just yet. Kevin Joyce will get us underway for the first time this season. Alongside him is Brandon McCaughton. Both of these guys looking for their first wins. Kevin is looking for his first podium. Brandon, of course, did take one in Imola and was very close to taking one in Spa-Francorchamps as well. That outside line, of course, jeopardising the drivers a lot here. So Brandon is looking to try and get a silky smooth start. But Kevin Joyce, I tell you what, is an eager beaver. And we go racing here in Silverstone. Jason Smith immediately on the prowl, looking to try and get past his championship contender, Dylan McClements. These both have got to be very careful not to bump into one another, because that could be disastrous for a championship campaign. Jason Smith right on the tail of Dylan McClements, heading in towards the first corner. Is Smith going to be able to lunge it down the inside? Absolutely is. It's Jason Smith after all. Dylan McClements hangs it to the outside line, won't be able to stay alongside. Jason Smith gets the move done. Brilliant overtake for Jason. Dylan has to settle to 4. He's struggling on the race start once again. Jordan Kelly is into the slipstream of Dylan, and Dylan will be looking to defend from Jordan here. He doesn't want to lose another place and get one car away from Jason Smith, but Jordan not able to make the move down the inside. No catastrophes for any of the front runners really. Ronan's not gained any places, but thankfully not lost any either. Finlay Melvin gaining a couple of spots as well, as is CJ O'Sullivan. Jordan Kelly still in the slipstream of Dylan McClements, heading through Woodcut past the old pit lane. Kevin Joyce under pressure from Brandon McCaughton in the race lead. There's a little bit of a weave. You don't want to do too many of them heading in towards Cop's Corner. Brandon McCaughton just staying behind and biding his time. Please, if there's a bit of lag once again on my end, folks. Rory O'Shea side by side with Logan Hoy, heading in towards the right-hander, not able to get past his Rory O'Shea. He's under pressure from Ronan Doherty. Ronan Doherty, this is sneaky. This is very sneaky, and he forces Rory O'Shea to have a little bit of a tank slapper on the exit of the corner. What a move by Ronan Doherty. TJ Taft might look to follow through. He might look up to Ronan Doherty in the Irish motorsport scene. Certainly looking up to Ronan Doherty here in the RTA world, trying to follow him through and get past Rory O'Shea. Brandon, went to go for that one. Defensive manoeuvre from Kevin Joyce, all fair in my eyes, but certainly aggressive from both. Jason Smith is right behind the pair of them. Jason looking the better of the trio of Smith, Kelly and Doherty here at the start, I have to say. And even though he said he was struggling a little bit with his force feedback, that's certainly not showing. Jordan Kelly very close behind Dylan McClements, just running wide for the first corner. Ronan Doherty pivots to the outside on Logan Hoy. He tries one down the inside on Jordan Kelly, and I thought he didn't. That's compromised his line heading through the arena section, and that might give Ronan Doherty an opportunity to overtake Logan Hoy down towards the left-hander of Woodcut now, or Brooklands, I should say. We fly. And Brandon McCaughan is going to try the long way here on Kevin Joyce. Oh, it's the very long way around. It's too long. He's ran out of road. Onto the grass goes Brandon McCaughan. Through goes Smith. Through goes McClemens. Jordan Kelly not quite making it through. Brandon McCaughan still side by side with Dylan McClemens. Jordan Kelly eases up on the throttle. Plants it straight back down. Gets the run on Brandon McCaughan. Utilising the slipstream from Dylan McClemens very nicely indeed. McClemens notices, pulls back over to try tow McCaughan, but not able to do so. Logan Hoy looked sideways on the entrance to Copse corner, but he's very much straight coming out of the corner, and he is in fact ahead of Rory O'Shea. Jordan Kelly still ahead of Brandon McCaughan now. McCaughan not able to fight back. Very rare but costly error from Brandon McCaughan to start Heat 3 here in Silverstone. Now, heading down towards Stowe, they fly. Brandon McCaughan not able to get back past Jordan, so he will have to stay there. Went for an audacious move to go for the race lead, and that did cost him, so Kevin has weathered that storm at least. This is Kyle Irvine looking to try and get past Robbie Callahan. Just still tucked in to the slipstream, heading down towards the chicane, but he's not going to be able to make the move stick there. He will have to just wait. Sliding through the final corner, the car going to feel like a shopping trolley for Kyle Irvine in this slipstream, in this dirty air, heading through this part of the circuit. Brian McCarthy's made another error, and Callahan inside. That was a little bit scary, but Robbie did just back out. I thought they were going to go too wide through there. They're going to go through too wide through here, and it is going to be Tony Stack who gets the move done on Kyle Irvine, and Kyle is going to stay side by side with Tony Stack. There's not enough room to maneuver there, and Tony will have to back out, but Kyle's made a mistake. He's bouncing all over the grass, messing up the run down towards Brooklands with a little bit of grass, a little bit of debris, and I'm sure that'll mix nicely with the rainwater. Brian McCarthy just about staying in front of Kyle Irvine. Brian has been all over the road here for the sector, but he has only lost one place. As Jason Smith. Jason Smith's off somewhere. Jason Smith is off and stopped in the gravel. Jason has made a blunder, and off through Copse corner he goes. That's very early in the corner, so I'd like to see what's happened here for Jason Smith. He's tucked into the slipstream of Kevin Joyce in front. Jason. Oh. That's a very weird one. You would expect that to happen a little bit later into the corner. I'm not sure if Ronan Hederman has an opinion on that one, but that is quite a weird crash for Jason Smith.
Yeah, I think what he said in the interview pretty much summarizes what happened there. And it also happened to, I believe, Finlay at some stage. A very, very similar kind of... I don't know, it's like as they toss into that corner, the car unsettles very, very fast. But yeah, unfortunate for Jason. He's now down sizable amount of places.
Dylan McClemens delighted secretly with that one because he's running in second, and Jason is down in 14th now, right behind Kyle Irvine. He's going to have to work his way up through the field and try and get past a good number of cars here to pick up a significant point. So has time to do it. He does have 15 minutes to get back up the order. It's not quite closing time yet, and he already is past Kyle Irvine into 13th place. Dylan McClemens is under pressure from Jordan Kelly, however. Kevin Joyce just still remaining in the lead of this race. Ronan said earlier he can see Kevin remaining there for quite some time, and Kevin is really doing a good job. Dylan McClemens, however, right behind him, as is Jordan Kelly. Dylan might have his hand forced a little bit here, might have to go for the race lead just to defend from Jordan Kelly. Brandon McCaughan 4th, Doherty 5th, then it's O'Shea, Hoy, and TJ Taff. Kevin Joyce, yeah, he's pulling out the gap a little bit, heading through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. I was going to say losing time, but has actually out the gap a tad. Ronan Doherty's definitely going to try get past Brandon McCaughan down towards the right-hander. Brandon looking to just remain in front, but can he just survive? I think he might, unless Ronan's very brave on the brakes. Brakes later, not late enough, doesn't commit to the move, and the Formula V champion stays behind. For how long is Dylan McClemens going to stay behind Kevin Joyce, though? You saw him trying around the outside there. Dylan loves a good overtake here at Silverstone. He can pull it off in all machinery. Dylan McClemens, he was right behind Kevin Joyce. Now Kevin's disappeared on his screen, but that is just due to the spray. I can't reiterate that point enough of how bad it seems to be here tonight. Jordan Kelly is going to go for the move on Dylan McClemens. Spray or no spray, second place now for Jordan Kelly, and Dylan once again running wide through turn number 3. There is a slight benefit in that for Dylan McClemens, though, because now Jordan's going to go for the move on Kevin Joyce. That might lose them both time, and Dylan might be able to sneak past them both. But Dylan has briefly fallen into the clutches of Brandon McCaughan, and Brandon is going to be trying to get in front and back on to the podium placings. Here is Jason Smith trying to go past Brian McCarthy. This is in the battle for 12th. You can see Kyle Irvine and CJ O'Sullivan in the background fighting as well for 14th. Jason Smith looking for the move in towards Brooklands, but not able to get it done. And here comes Jordan Kelly. Oh, I thought he was going to go for it in towards Cobb's corner. He's going to go round into corner. Where has that come from for Jordan Kelly? The man who looked unstoppable has been stopped, got too close to the rear of Kevin Joyce, and no one can get past Kevin Joyce without making a mistake through Cobb's corner. Remember that statistic from earlier. Anyone who's won Heat 1 has not won Heat number 3 this season in RT. Heat 3 has always been the upset. It is the upset once again. We might get a replay on that one, and we will right on cue. Let's have a look at this. On board with Jordan Kelly. Oh, it's the exact same mistake as Jason Smith. It is the exact same mistake as Jason Smith. And that is rare for Jordan Kelly. Very, very rare indeed, especially on an evening where he has looked phenomenal. Down the order goes Jordan Kelly. I can't quite spot him on the tower. He's 11th. He's right in front of Jason Smith. He's now 10th, just got ahead of TJ Taff, but wow, isn't that an upset in this one? Kevin Joyce has got to fancy his chances now. Absolutely has to fancy his chances, because Dylan hasn't looked like getting past him so far. There is another 9.5 minutes to go in this race, but if I'm Kevin Joyce, I'm probably going to have a similar mindset to Peter McCann did in Spa, where it's going to be tough, but can definitely win this. And what a boost of confidence that would be for Kevin Joyce. He's been good this season. He has been very, very good this season. Sits 8th in the championship, and a 30-point haul here tonight would get him closer to Peter McCann in the order. It's not been a stellar evening for Peter McCann. A lot of that not his own fault, I should say. And yeah, this could be a good evening for Kevin Joyce. Peter McCann looking to change that, and he's actually trying to get past Simon Hutchings in towards Cobb's corner. There we go. There's the move into Cobb's. No spins, no pirouettes for Peter McCann. Just a brave overtake and a brave bit of racing. And he's got ahead of Simon. Robbie's going to follow him through. Robbie Callahan up to 8. Simon 9th would still be a trip in towards Cobb's corner. Clean up in corner 9, please. And Kyle has made a mistake. Ken Doyle, that is able to get past. 15th spot for Ken, who again has had a pretty solid evening. Oh, Tony's now made a mistake. Tony has been overtaken, and he's wide. It's all happening now. It always seems to be the way in this LMP2 Cup. Me and Ronan will always say before it's been a pretty poor evening, and then Heat 3 just kicks off, and we don't really know where to look. Here is Jordan Kelly getting past Simon Hutchings. TJ Taff is going to look to follow through. Jordan Kelly in 9th now, going to try and charge after Robbie Callahan and Peter McCann. And that is TJ Taff just about staying in front of Jason Smith. Smith all over the back of him though, and he's now going to try and dive down the inside. Yeah, that's going to be a fairly easy one for Jason Smith. I think that's a smart decision by TJ to not defend it too much. He's only been here a short while, but he's learned how Jason Smith warpaths work, and Jason will overtake you at any cost. So you can decide the cost, which will be quite cheap if you're Kyle Irvine at a low-budget supermarket. But that's the last little pun for this evening. Kevin Joyce still in the lead of this one. Dylan McClemens 0.2 of a second behind. Closest Dylan has been, as you see on that very fancy graphic coming up at the bottom of the order. Dylan 0.2 of a second quicker on the last lap round. The closest he's been so far in this race. And this really would be a turning point in the season if Dylan was to win this race, especially given what's happened to Jason Smith. And it was a mistake all on his own. It's not like Jason was taken out, so Dylan definitely needs to capitalise on this chance. 0.2 of a second behind Kevin Joyce. Ronan Doherty, 0.2 of a second behind Brandon McCaughrean. But there's no overtakes to be made. 13 minutes and 40 seconds completed out of the full 20 here in round 5, heat 3 of the Motorsport.ie LMP2 Cup at Silverstone. And let's see how this one plays out in the dying embers. Ronan Doherty right behind Brandon McCaughrean. Jordan Kelly right behind Robbie Callahan. Jordan, I imagine, would like to get this move done fairly soon. That's someone running a little bit wide. Kyle Irvine is into the pit lane and seems to be falling. He's back up. It's an internet issue. What was that bought in a low-cost supermarket? Kyle Irvine. No, it's not an internet issue. He is into the pit lane, and it's closing time for Kyle Irvine's race here in Silverstone. Jordan Kelly has managed to get past Robbie Callahan. An excellent move for Jordan Kelly. He is ahead of Robbie. And Robbie not able to fight it. Weird wheel wiggle down the straight for Robbie Callahan, but Jordan will remain in front. There'll be no issues there with that. Jordan's pace is still phenomenal, and you would have thought it would be the first clean sweep of the season if he hadn't made that mistake. Dylan taking a huge chunk of the inside curve through Woodcut. Kevin Joyce just about remaining in front, despite having an LMP2 right up his bumper for the entire race. Kevin Joyce has not looked flustered once. Oh, that's a late manoeuvre. He made that manoeuvre after Dylan McClemens did. Has to be careful with those ones. You can probably get away with one or two, but you don't want to bring that to the steward's attention. He's run a little bit wide through Copse Corner. Dylan McClemens knows a move might be on the cards here. Heading through Stowe into the slipstream goes Dylan McClemens. He loves this corner for an overtake. Will it be the outside or the inside line? It's going to be the outside for Dylan McClemens. He's not going to be able to dive it. Oh, he's going to go down the inside. Dylan McClemens, what a cracking move. He's pulled that one off once or twice. And Dylan McClemens, is he ahead? Oh, there's contact made. Kevin Joyce almost goes round. That's going to cost him in the braking. Kevin knows this is his last opportunity. Bumper cars heading through the Vale chicane. And Dylan McClemens, oh, he's sent round. He's sent back straight by Brandon McCaughrean. Brandon didn't really have anywhere to go. Absolutely not his fault. Oh, that got tasty for a few moments. That got spicy, and Kevin Joyce is just in front. Brandon McCaughrean. Oh, he's almost gone into the back. Where's Ronan Doherty? Still in third place. This is getting argy-bargy. Logan Hoy could be looking for his podium of the season here, because these guys are all elbows out there. Elbows, head, shoulders, knees and toes. Logan down the inside. Oh, Ronan Doherty spins round. Logan dives down the inside. That's just killed all of Ronan's momentum, and he now falls down the order. Rory O'Shea in front of Ronan Doherty now. He's fallen to 6th, and look who's behind him. It's Jordan Kelly who is behind Ronan Doherty. Let's have a look at the instant replay here. Which one is this? This is the Ronan and Logan incident. Heading in towards the left-hander, or... yeah, it is. Let's have a look. Logan. Oh, yeah, it's a silly dive from Logan Hoy, and it's the kind of trait he ironed out of his driving this evening, and it was the trait that we were commending him for. He's on the podium, but he might get a penalty and lose the big points. that he picked up this evening, but this is looking very good. If your name is Kevin Joyce, and yes, it was elbows out with Dylan McClements, but he is still in the lead of the race. It could be a first-time winner here in RTA LMP2 because Kevin Joyce is in first, Brandon McCaughton's in second, Logan Hoy's in third. In terms of the second and third place drivers, it would be a first win ever. And Brandon way off the circuit, heading through Stowe. He's okay. He'll survive it. He's okay. He'll survive it because Logan Hoy was so far behind. But that's now second gap, heading on to what might be the last lap of the race here. Just a quick look at the timing screens. They are lapping in the 2:02s. So that would literally make this the last lap of the race. And if Kevin Joyce is smart about this, he might make this the last lap of the race. Brandon McCaughton needs to get on this now. No more mistakes from here on out if he wants to win in the Motorsport.ie LMP2 Cup. Logan Hoy in third, just falling off Brandon McCaughton. Dylan McClements might try to get past Logan Hoy and get back up to P3. Now, just coming up to 19 minutes here. It is looking like this will be the last lap of the race, and Kevin is losing time still to Brandon McCaughton. This one's not over quite yet. And Brandon, oh, look how close he's getting. He's really, really giving this everything. Heading down towards Cops Corner, there'll be. He just has to tee this one up for the hanger straight. Has to try do it in towards Stowe. That will be his best opportunity, but admittedly, that's where he's looked slowest here. Kevin Joyce just weaving his way in towards Maggots, Beckers and Chapel. This needs to be perfect from Kevin Joyce. This needs to be the best line through this string of corners that he's ran the whole time, and it's not necessarily. Brandon McCaughton has got really, really close, and Brandon McCaughton is into the slipstream, heading in towards the final sector of the circuit. There's 20 seconds left on the clock. This will be the last trip round Silverstone. Brandon McCaughton is not close enough, however. Kevin Joyce is in front. This needs to be the bravest of brave from Brandon if he wants to try and make the move stick in towards the chicane. Is he too far back? He's looked for it, but he won't be able to get alongside. The checkered flag is out. Kevin's made a slight error. Is he going to be able to get out of the final corner? Brandon McCaughton's looking to sneak a wheel through. He won't. Kevin Joyce will not disagree with this one. He wins in heat number 3. What an excellent win for Kevin. From start to finish, he led. But my God, did he work for it. Incredible racing from Kevin, Brandon, Dylan, Ronan. Maybe not Logan, but he certainly had a part in it. Exceptional stuff. And that really was a cracking heat 3. It likes to provide entertainment. It has won. Ken Doyle, solid performance in 14th. Getting a few points. We'll run you through the full order as it comes up in a moment. Here is Philip Upson coasting towards the line. And Kyle Irvine, Finley Melvin, Jamal Gandor not making it to the end. Unfortunately, a non-finish in heat number 3 there. So Kevin Joyce, the winner in heat 3. Brandon McCaughton in second, Logan Hoy in third. Dylan McClements in fourth, Rory O'Shea in fifth, Ronan Doherty in sixth, Jordan Kelly in seventh, Peter McCann in eighth, Jason Smith in ninth, Robbie Callahan in 10th, and Simon Hutchings in 11th, CJ O'Sullivan in 12th, Ken Doyle 13th, Tony Stack 14th, Dermot Toomey 15th, then David Prunty in 16th, Brian McCarthy 17th, and TJ Taff in 18th. Philip Upson then comes home in 19th, Kyle Irvine in 20th, ahead of Finley Melvin in 21st, Jamal Gandor in 22nd. Rounds out the order. Let's hear from your new race winner then, Kevin Joyce. Kevin, hello. Congratulations. It is a race win in Silverstone. Did you expect that coming into tonight?
Definitely not. It was just kind of fortunate that I was P8 in race 2, and the spray, I'm sure, didn't help everyone, and it's very difficult to race in close quarters when you've got the spray. So there was a lot of quick guys behind me. We had a bit of a contact with Dylan, but I'm sure we'll discuss that after. Definitely not. No. Very, very fortunate to be in the position I was in, given the conditions we were in, and yeah, I think the conditions favour tonight.
you had to fight hard with that one. Jason got behind you and then spun. Jordan got behind you and then spun. Dylan got behind you and you defended, and then you held off Brandon on the last lap as well. How did you pull that one off?
Just focusing. Like to be honest with you, it's very difficult for the chasing driver to pass in these conditions when the spray is that bad. It's so difficult to race in close quarters. So for me, it was just about car positioning. Every single corner, just try and keep it in. Dylan very nearly got me at the end. It was close contact. I'm sure we'll be discussing it afterwards. Didn't mean to run him wide. I didn't mean to run him off the road. It was just one of those things. We're both going for a corner, and he's fighting for a championship. I'm fighting for a race win. So might be just one of those things.
And then Silverstone in the wet weather, is it a combo for Kevin Joyce?
No, I definitely wouldn't put it down to the wet weather. The guys were much faster than me. A lot of it was down to the spray and the dirty air running behind the car, so that definitely favoured me tonight. I was about a good second off the pace, but just been running at the front and just been quick enough to just about stay ahead.
Kevin, congratulations and really well done on taking the.
Thank you so much.
So great to hear from Kevin Joyce there post-race win. We don't have anyone else in the interview room. That's disappointing. We're back to the Thor Thullo days. Brandon McCaughton in second, and was it Logan Hoy who came in third? Yes, it was Logan who came in third. Now it is the driver of the day time, of course. And going by our stream chat, it is a unanimous victory for Kevin Joyce. I have no arguments with it, Ronan. I'm not sure if you do.
I'm not entirely sure. Kevin drove a great race, but some of his defending was questionable. Now, again, that's up to the stewards to decide. But again, for someone to hold on that long, I think he got a small bit lucky. But yeah, I think I don't think there's anyone else we could really give it to. But Kevin Joyce, your driver of the day.
Yeah, my other candidate would have been Logan Hoy, but then he had that dive on Ronan, so
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
they were both kind of as bad as each other. So
yeah, I was kind of holding out hope that that Logan wouldn't make one of his usual ambitious dives, but yeah, and I saw that happen, that kind of dive into that chicane, never ever going to work out. So a bit disappointing, but hopefully Logan will start learning from them type of mistakes that
I have to give him some credit. He was better tonight. Like that was the only bad one. He is learning and has shown that he can be better at times.
Yeah, like I said, I held that hope, the same as yourself, and yeah, got a bit disappointed towards the end.
Ronan, you sound like a disappointed father right now.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So long as somebody...
Also, actually, now that I say that, can we all please wish Ronan Hederman a happy in the YouTube stream chat, please and thanks.
Thank you very much.
I
Can I just say on behalf of anyone that was watching, my God, the puns. You heard me in the background. I literally was nearly pleading for you to stop by the end.
Oh yeah, if Kevin Galvin did it, you'd all find.
No, I'm not being favorite. There's no favoritism here. Still love you.
Yeah, I kind of took that one and ran with it. Hey, Brandon and Logan just joined the interview room, by the way. I don't know if we still want to do that.
Go for it.
Hey, let's hear from Brandon McCaughton and Logan and third. Brandon, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hear you now.
Congratulations, second place. Just about missed out on the win.
Oh, yeah, it was a good race. I was going for the lead earlier on and just ran deep trying to go around the outside. So, got back into a rhythm, watched the boys in front of me fall off, trying to take the lead. And then when Dylan was going for the move and he got pushed off. And when I made contact with him, I had front damage. So, I was hunting down Kevin there at the end, trying to find a way past, but the understeer was serious, just with the front end damage, so couldn't find a way. He did a good job of defending. Very hard to get past, with the spray and all in these cars, but it was a fun race, definitely.
How bad does that damage affect the car then? Just to give an insight to the viewers at home.
Quite a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, you can still compete, but like I didn't have major front end damage, but it just really increases the understeer, and because we were running wet tires on, a not too wet track, your fronts are cooked like 3 laps in. You're struggling with understeer the whole time. So when you've overheated fronts, you're into the dirty air and you've got damage. It just makes it difficult. But still, I was able to stick with him and give him a go, and he defended well. So fair play.
Season as a whole, then, bar Portimao, which of course you didn't get to race in, you haven't finished outside the top 10 in a single heat. Is that consistency you're going to look to keep going?
Yeah, definitely. The consistency's been good. Pace isn't quite where I'd like it to be, but I'm sure with time I'll get a bit quicker and hopefully be challenge the front boys more regularly. But for the pace I have at the minute, main thing is to be consistent, and I've kept my nose clean and haven't picked up too much damage along the way. So going good, happy with it so far.
Brandon, thank you very much for joining us and congratulations again.
Cheers.
And now for his RTA interview debut, let's bring in Logan Hoy. Logan, congratulations for a podium of a short RTA career for yourself.
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, good.
Tonight as a whole then, how did you see it went? Your pace was quite good in the wet conditions.
I seen I was decently quick in qualifying and practice, and I was just pushing, hoping to do better than every other race this season so far. And I seen a gap, went for it, and luckily enough got into third and held off Dylan McClements.
How did you find the wet weather tonight?
Oh, it was tricky because wasn't too wet, but on the wet tires, just overheated after a couple of laps on the front end, and just trying to fight the understeer and get the car to turn in. It was a struggle, but I handled it.
And then, what's your plan for the rest of the season? Then is it just to keep building week on week, or is there a long-term goal?
Well, I'd be hoping to get more podiums now. Podium, and if I'm really pushing it, hopefully get a win, first RTA win.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Logan, and congratulations on the podium once again.
Thanks.
So great to hear from Brandon and there, and we have our driver of the day done pre-interview now, so that was a job well done from us. So that's all we do have time for, folks. That is it here from Silverstone. Next time out will be Daytona. However, that will be on the 7th of January. We won't be racing on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So, folks, that's it for 2024 in RTA and for Gantry TV. A first year of Gantry TV. Definitely not a first year for RTA, but a fabulous 2024, I think, for RTA Virtual Motorsport and for us here on the streaming side of things, Ronan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great year. Kind of our first. I think this is our first full year streaming with RTA. So it's been a great year overall. The RTA crew always providing exceptional racing, both on track and the team that organises it all behind, fantastic as well. So yeah, very very good year of racing, and hopefully more in 2025.
Hopefully, we can continue it going. And of course, a big thanks to all you folks that streams Tuesday. We appreciate your continued support, and we hope to have you back for the first race of 2025 at the Daytona Road Course, which should be an exciting one. It is a track built for these LMP2 cars. A big happy Christmas, a big happy New Year from myself, Ronan, and the rest of the Gantry team behind the scenes. A big thanks to our partners, of course, Motorsport.ie, once again, for sponsoring the LMP2 Cup. You can check out all your Irish motorsport news, big news in the rally world, young driver world. You can check it all out on motorsport.ie. But for now, thank you very much for tuning in. Stay safe, stay well, and we shall see you next time. Slán go fóill.